gonna keep talking, sir, could you at least stand up? I'd like for us to keep that agreement. Yeah.
I'm about to spill.
Oh, have you?
Yes?
Okay. Would you like to come up here?
Do you want me?
Well, that's not for me to say, Larriet.
What? Do you? I mean,
That's not for me to say. If you want to come up here, then that's for you to decide.
Katie by the door.
Do you have your release form? Okay, great. Come on.
I'm not a good person, you know, someone would say he's a good person since, like that. But I simply want to be the best person I can be. And I'm willing to go any place that takes me.
Yeah, good, Allison. Yeah.
Front or back?
Good.
Front or back?
Good. Come on up here, Larriet. Let's
I'm
do
ready.
the real deal. Yeah, get in that chair. It's going to feel good.
I watch a lot of TV, and I know that makes half my brain like cold oatmeal because of how much time I do it. But there's a positive side to it. I mean, there's a lot of great things on television. A lot of, not the programs per se, but the whole feel the medium has about itself. I mean, ever since I was divorced, yeah, I was married once. I've got 2 children, 2 girls, Andrea and Lily. I don't see them there too much anymore. Their mother moved to the Pacific West Coast. She remarried the whole bit. I mean, he's a nice enough guy. I mean, it's not like I abandoned them. I was there for them all those years. But I think everybody's embarrassed when I go to visit. I mean, everybody tries to act cheerful, and behave appropriately or emotional around each other, but I think everybody's relieved when I go. But I'm still a young person. Not in the Nickelodeon or MTV such young person. But, most people are generally surprised when I tell them I've got 2 kids that are almost teenagers living in the Pacific Northwest with their new dad. It's funny how it started on the face of it. Janie and me got married. She was great. She was funny, smart, and she had a look just the way I like women to look. I'm very conscious about physical attributes. Even for me, and to me, it's like a huge subject, women's bodies, their hair. I probably shouldn't get into this thing I have about women's breasts. You might think I'm a little weird, but anyway, Janie and me got married, and we both had great jobs. And along came the kids, and I thought, my life was mapped out for the next 20 years. But now I, stay in my apartment, eat takeout, drink alcohol, and watch my big screen TV. But I got this great new satellite dish a few months back. Some people make fun of the fact it's got 450 channels of programming, but it has a place in our society. Lying. Oh, thanks. Lying there, watching documentaries, the fashion show, news from Pittsburgh, docudramas, sports. I'm not a sports person per se, but it's the whole programming I get into, the promotions and the wraparounds. I really love all that stuff. And the commercials. Don't get me started about commercials. That's the great art form of the last part of the 20th century. Mark my words. I don't think people say mark my words. Do they? I don't get much exercise these days. But ever since I've been on disability, I've never felt better. Physically better than I ever have in my life. I used to wake up every morning with this low back pain. For years I had this low back pain. And now I don't. I got this great new mattress. And I had the moving guys put it in the living room. It's great living alone. Sometimes I just walk around the apartment thinking, Christ, I can do anything I want. But I've had, there is this problem. I've had this ongoing problem with the co-op board. if I want to pee in my own kitchen sink, then I'm going to goddamn piss in my own kitchen sink. I mean, ever since I moved into the living room, it's a hell of a lot more convenient to go in the kitchen sink. I mean, I would never take a dump in the kitchen sink. I mean, I'm not some kind of an animal. I mean, even though I have a garbage disposal. So I don't pull down my blinds. I mean, mind your own damn business. Turn on your own goddamn television. Don't stare in at me. Hey, I'm spilling here. Don't stare in here at me, watching me do my own friggin' thing.
Okay,
you know?
You know what? Bob warned you last month about going into some of that stuff. Knock it off, all right? Or you can have a seat. Enough.
Bob's not here, is he? I could use a drink about now. When I was in college, I mean, the first college I was in before I went back to the last college that I went to and then graduated from, we used to drink a lot. I mean, a lot. And when I was in college, I invented this drink called the American Machete. And basically, we took a 15-ounce beer stein, and we'd fill it almost three-quarters of the way up with Bacardi 151, you know, the high test. And with just 2 ice cubes and a little bit of Dr. Pepper on the top. NFL, no friggin' line. I mean, that was my contribution to that college, you know? And now, you know, sometimes I think back, you know, and I get nostalgic, you know? And I'll, you know, build up a machete in the morning and have it with my breakfast, you know, like a breakfast burrito and a Percocet. But when I do that, you know, I usually end up taking a nap in the afternoon and missing my soaps. But I have to chalk that up to life experience, you know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I suppose if I had stayed married, I mean, life would have been good. I mean, but our life with Janie was just an unexamined life, you know? I mean, just trying to keep the wheels moving forward, going and progress and all that. But it was such an empty life with no sense of examination. As they say, an unexamined life is not worth much. I mean, it's like ants. But now, I have all this time on my hand to examine myself in the world around me. I mean, now what I do is I watch, I mean, just remember about all those people in the years past, you know? Who remembers any of it? I mean, people just slogging along. You know, just another brick in the wall. Yeah, I like that man. I always did like that man. I mean, what was their purpose? It was like little ants taking a bit back to the nest from a picnic, you know? And I want to go to that picnic. Now, even though it doesn't seem like I'm at that picnic, at least I know the picnic is out there, and someday I'm going to get to that picnic. And that's what this self-improvement bullshit is all about, you know? I mean, at least I'm not hurting anybody, like some of you are, you know? I mean, if I'm hurting anybody, it's just myself. You know, and I'll probably be dead not too long, and none of you will have to give me a second thought. That was a joke, you know? So, I'm on the edge of, you know, I sit home watching the big screen and being on the internet, and, you know, at least if I'm wasting time, I'm at the cutting edge of wasting time, you know? I'm leading that charge into the future down that dark and smelly drain. I'm sorry, thank you for your attention, I'll shut up. And wait a minute, and I don't want any of you judging me. You know, I want you all going to end up like, you know, you just wait and see, you're all going to end up just like me. So my advice to you guys is, pour yourself a drink, fire up the 57-inch screen, and enjoy your life.
Okay.